we are now down to the Elite Eight. 8 teams left in the postseason of the 2021 NFL season that have their eyes set on the Lombardi Trophy following the 34-11 victory against the Arizona Cardinals by the LA Rams. The playoffs are set, the divisional round is set, and we are ready to go as we turn the page on Wildcard Weekend and look forward to the divisional round. Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Time2Football. My name is Hassan Khan, the host of this channel that we like to call Time2Football. Glad you guys are able to join us on this wonderful, marvelous Tuesday morning. As like I said, Wildcard Weekend in the books, filled with a lot of surprises, filled with a lot of questionable, long conversations by officiating crews because their jobs were on the line. Hey, we saw what happened on Saturday with the Raiders and the Bengals, so why not in that Monday Night Football game, take your time, really talk about it, and make the best decision and the best call. You know, there was actually a moment during that game where Sean McVay challenged twice in that game. One was a Matthew Stafford quarterback sneak for a touchdown, and another was an incomplete pass that they ruled as a completed catch by A.J. Green, and it was a fumble out of bounds. Sean McVay challenged that twice, and he was rewarded a third challenge. If you're correct twice, you get another challenge, but at that point, you got to think to yourself, man, if the officiating crew makes another mishap in this game that goes against them in the favor of the Rams, that would be so bad. In a weekend where officiating has been under so much scrutiny, you want to make the best calls. But nonetheless, the officiating crew did their job. They did the best. And now the LA Rams, led by Matthew Stafford in his first playoff victory, led by Odell Beckham Jr. in his first playoff victory as well, him nabbing in a touchdown. Cooper Kupp as well, getting in on the fun as well. Sony Michel getting himself asserted into the dominance as well in the touchdown category. But as far as the usage category, Cam Akers, the Achilles, did not bother him at all. Looks like he's back to full speed after suffering a torn Achilles back in July. And Cam Akers might actually be operating as the number one back moving forward. I know it's kind of a 50-50 split. Cam Akers had 17 touches, or 18 touches total, and Sony Michel had 13, I want to say. So maybe the Rams are going back to, hey, Sony Michel, thank you for all that you've done. We're still going to utilize you because you've been very good this postseason. But I think Cam Akers, this was his job. He never lost it. He's still a very good back. He's our future moving forward. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in the fate of Sony Michel, not just for the rest of the postseason, but for the NFL playoffs as well. Great victory by the Rams, and what a collapse by the Arizona Cardinals. 5 out of their last games, including last night's game, they lost, and that initially cost them everything. I didn't come up with a graphic for question of the day, but this is the question of the day. What are your thoughts? What happened with the Arizona Cardinals? I thought they were a very good football team. They were great on offense. They were showing flashes on defense that they were pretty good. Week 1, they dominated the Tennessee Titans. What happened? What happened since then? Well, you could say like week 1, okay, that's like everybody's still getting adjusted to the feel of the NFL. They're still getting used to their, everybody's teams and everything. So, yeah, that probably didn't count. But, I mean, they had some pretty good victories earlier this season, beating the Rams early in the season. I don't know. Leave your thoughts and your comments down below in the live chat. And actually, as a matter of fact, if you're joining us during the live show, we encourage you guys to join us during the live chat so that you guys can interact with us. We'll have a whole segment dedicated later on where we interact with the live chat, answer any sort of questions that you guys may have. As well as you guys get to see me on YouTube. And they, actually, before we went on air, you guys get to see this if you're watching this on YouTube. So we have the lights in the back being blue and yellow in favor of the Rams to commemorate their victory against the Arizona Cardinals. And then here I am dead set in the middle wearing this Blue Clues green long sleeve shirt. And I thought to myself, like, damn, that is freaking hilarious how it's blue light, yellow light, and if you mix blue and yellow together, you get green in the middle. Isn't that so freaking funny? This was all unintentional, and I did not plan this. But as the countdown was going on, I was like, that is so freaking funny. Hassan, you look like an idiot. And I love it. I love it. Anything to get more viewers. I love it. So if you guys want to hop in and see the green shirt, if you guys are listening on the iTunes, I sound like an old man, then you can go on over to YouTube, subscribe to us on there. We come out with much more content throughout the week. Before we get into NFL news and notes, which we've got a lot to talk about, we want to go ahead and acknowledge an award that we've been giving out on this show week after week after week. And it's the most prestigious award on this channel, and it is the Hungriest Player of the Week. Hungriest Player of the Week, the one that wanted it the most. Now, if you're not familiar with this award, it's not awarding the player with the best stats. It's not awarding the player, hey, NFC Player of the Week, AFC Player. No, this is about the player that gets overlooked, that came into this game, Wild Card Weekend, and really showed up and showed out in the opportunity that was given to him, whether it be the starter is injured and he steps in, whether it be, I don't know, just any sort of kind of scenario where he steps into a situation where he takes advantage and the most of his opportunity and wins a game when you don't feel like they're going to win a game. Just a different amount of scenarios that could happen with the Hungriest Player of the Week. Well, this specific scenario for Hungriest Player of the Week, HPOW, we wanted to give it to a guy that stepped in for an injured player, not just as the number one back for this game on the depth chart, but he was the number two back, but really showed up. How about the game that we saw from the Kansas City Chiefs running back, Jerich Mckinnon, having 12 carries for 61 yards, six receptions for 81 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown. He was the RB2 on the depth chart. He is the RB3 in that offense. Honestly, I'd go even further and say that he was the RB4. If everybody's healthy, he's the RB4. You've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You've got Darrell Williams. You've got Derek Gore. And now you've got Jerich McKinnon serving as the number 4 back. Well, he came in. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was out. Darrell Williams is dealing with a toe injury. But you still have Derek Gore. Well, Jerich McKinnon decided to use him in the passing game a lot, and that actually ended up being a great thing. And he was also impressive on the ground as well. So Jerich McKinnon, the Georgia Southern product, making the most of his opportunity, has gone from team to team to team, has gone from the Minnesota Vikings to the San Francisco 49ers, didn't work out with the 49ers. He's been injured, dealing with injury after injury after injury, and finally he signs with the Kansas City Chiefs and had the game of his career, and probably the most important game of his career in a playoff game, was able to stand out and make an impact for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that is why Jerich McKinnon is your Hungriest Player of the Week. Well deserving. You guys are continuing to comment and leave questions and comments down below. Grand Rising T2F, Aftershock Value saying this. So did I see a tight end and a wide receiver become a quarterback? That was just disrespectful. Yes, you did. This past weekend, we saw Travis Kelce become a quarterback, and we also saw Odell Beckham Jr., who is known for completing 4 receptions in his career thus far. And he made a bomb throw against the Arizona Cardinals to Cam Akers, who lined up on the outside. A couple of times, actually, the Cam Akers beat the coverage, lining up on the outside. Guys, Cam Akers is going to be a problem in 2022. I can go ahead and guarantee. If Sony Michel is not back with the Rams in 2022, Cam Akers is going to be a problem. This is me even saying that Darrell Henderson is out there on the market, out there on the Los Angeles Rams radar as well. Cam Akers is going to be the 3-down back if Sony Michel were not there. It's going to happen. So Cam Akers is looking really good. Yeah, you did see the disrespect of a tight end and a wide receiver becoming quarterback. LA Rams, baby. Combat Sports Talk talking about that. Thank you for your channel. Helped my fantasy team reach the semis last year. Appreciate it, man. And congratulations to you. I wish you got the championship, but maybe we can help you going into next season. Stay tuned this offseason. We'll come out with much more fantasy football content throughout the offseason, starting from free agency all the way throughout OTAs. We'll give you weekly updates on everything and all the news that's going out. That's actually how I was able to be so successful, is I kept up with the news throughout the whole offseason, every transaction factored in our rankings. every single one, every single note that a beat reporter was saying about a player in OTAs factor in our draft ranking. So that is something that, hey, I'm not just going to keep for myself. I'm going to put it out on public, and I'm going to let you guys in on that. So stay tuned and subscribe to the channel for those updates. Why the heck is this freaking... It's my hair. Gotta look pretty, dude. Gotta look pretty in this Blue Clues green shirt. I feel like Drew Brees right now, licking my hand. Gosh, I miss Drew Brees. All right, now it's got COVID. Rudy Gobert moment right here. Rudy Gobert. Hey, remember Rudy Gobert? The guy that shut down the world because of the NBA the NBA season. He had COVID, or there was fears about COVID, and he, as a joke, got up from a press conference, and as he was getting up, he like touched all the microphones to spread his germs. Sorry for you guys that are listening on iTunes and you had to listen to that audio. Rudy Gobert. That's what I just did. Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert was 100% responsible for America shutting down because of COVID-19. It wasn't until that happened when everybody was like, oh, sports games need to be canceled. Huh? Yeah, did you hear about Rudy Gobert? Who's Rudy Gobert? I don't know who that is. I don't watch NBA at all. I don't. Oh yeah, he's a really good defensive player. Like he's pretty decent. I think he plays for the Denver Nuggets at the time he was, or the Utah Jazz. I don't even know, man. I don't really follow NBA that much unless it's the Atlanta Hawks. But yeah, Rudy Gobert shut down the world. COVID-19. I'm surprised that I know a lot about Rudy Gobert. That's what I just did right there. Had my Rudy Gobert moment. And I'll acknowledge one more comment, and then I'll go ahead and move on up to NFL news and notes. A Jordanian Poppy saying it's a good day to be a Rams fan. Yes, Rams, congratulations. You are looking better than ever. This could be resembling the team that you guys had in 2018, but with a better quarterback and Matthew Stafford. Jared Goff had a good season that year, but Matthew Stafford had an even better season. Cooper Kupp had a good season that year, but Cooper Kupp had an even better season this year in 2021. Rams, man, they've been my Super Bowl pick, at least making the Super Bowl since probably the start of preseason. No, start of week 1. Once I saw Matthew Stafford play against the Chicago Bears, I was like, that's it. Rams, Super Bowl bound. And then I have the Tennessee Titans as well. So Rams and Titans. Probably, that was my Super Bowl prediction around week 3, like week 2, week 3. And I'm sticking with it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see. NFL news and notes around the league. Hey, we've got injury news to catch up with, and we've also got head coaching changes happening, with multiple teams completing their head coaching interviews with some people, but also some general manager positions that need to be filled as well. We don't really update you on general manager positions unless it's a move that's made in the sense of firing someone. And unfortunately, NFL draft expert Mike Mayock is out. He is out of a job. The Las Vegas Raiders decided to move on with him after winning 25 games, losing 24 games in 3 seasons with Mike Mayock as the general manager. Questionable moves. I wasn't going to say questionable decision by the Raiders because it makes a lot of sense, but questionable moves by Mike Mayock as soon as he stepped in the building in 2019. Hey, you have the number 4 overall pick in the 2019 draft. And then later on, you draft in the 20s as well. You draft in the 20s. Cleland Farrell, by many draft analysts, was projected to go in the late 20s, in the early to late 20s of the first round. They drafted him at number 4. I was actually there in person. I was at the draft live in person. I drove up to Nashville, and I stood in the rain as the Raiders drafted Cleland Farrell at number 4 overall, and everyone, resounding, everyone in the Raiders, like the crowd on Broadway Street. Roger Goodell comes up on stage, says, with the 4th pick overall by the Las Vegas Raiders, And everybody, obviously goes like, boo, because Roger Goodell. It went from boo to, huh? Huh? You had Josh Allen, the defensive end, on the board, which the Jaguars eventually took him, which was a steal. And you decided to take Cleland Farrell. Well, that was questionable. Then the 2020 draft. Ooh, the so thrilling 2020 draft with Damon Arnett, with Henry Ruggs. How could we forget about that? Both those guys gone. So yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense for the Raiders to finally decide, hey, let's move on. Pretty much the only ones that really make sense that Mike Mayock did a very good job in drafting was Max Crosby and Josh Jacobs. Maybe there were some other ones here and there, but I mean, for Alex Leatherwood, it hasn't been working out. Like, you drafted him pretty much a round earlier than you needed to. Cleland Farrell didn't work out. Damon Arnett, Henry Ruggs. Mike Mayock, he's gone. Looking for a new general manager. Head coaching updates. In the last 24 hours, the Raiders, staying on topic with them, they are still in the running to land Rich Bisaccia as their permanent head coach. That's not out of the question, but they want to explore every single option. And a name that has popped up recently for the Denver Broncos job, for, who else did he interview for? Interviewed for another team. I know that for sure. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I know for sure that the Denver Broncos have requested to interview Patriots inside linebackers coach Gerard Mayo. And now you've got the Las Vegas Raiders requesting to interview Gerard Mayo as well. Players coach, inside linebackers coach, might actually do a very good job if he's getting head coaching interest in the NFL. The Bears have completed their interview with Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator of the Colts. So the Bears have concluded that interview. And then we've already updated you on the request of Dan Quinn being interviewed by multiple teams. But this week, he's going to have 4 head coaching interviews lined up with multiple teams. I think the Dolphins are one of them. The Bears are one of them. The Broncos are one of them. I can't think of the other team off the top of my head. But he's got 4 interviews lined up. So he's more than likely going to be getting a head coaching job here in 2021, or moving forward in 2022, actually, as a matter of fact. And then the Panthers, they're interviewing for their offensive coordinator position. How about Ben Mcadoo, who took over for Tom Coughlin after he resigned from the New York Giants as the head coach? Did not work out. Had a good season with Eli Manning, with him being the offensive coordinator with the New York Giants, but as a head coach, just didn't work out. No, it just didn't work out. He has some history with the Green Bay Packers as well, but it looks like the Panthers are now having their eyes set on Ben Mcadoo as one of the candidates for their offensive coordinator position. Some injury news we wanted to update you on. If you guys saw that game last night, Budda Baker, scary hit by Cam Akers. He's in concussion protocol now. Obviously, he's going to be out for a while. But, I mean, moving forward in 2022, for the 2022 season, he'll be fine. That's good news. He was taken to a local hospital in an ambulance, and it seems like he's going to be working fine. He's all responsive in all of his extremities. He's just recovering at this point. So Budda Baker, hopefully that doesn't get too serious, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be. Scary hit, but he's going to be fine. Larry Ogunjobi. So we updated you guys yesterday about the foot injury that he had. Well, it came out that 30 minutes after we went off air that Ogunjobi is suffering with a foot injury that's going to keep him out for the remainder of the season. Regardless of how deep the Cincinnati Bengals get in this postseason run, he's going to be out, especially for this game against the Tennessee Titans. Some San Francisco 49ers news. 3 players that are dealing with injuries right now. Fred Warner, low ankle sprain. We don't know the status of him upcoming against Green Bay Packers this weekend, but there is a chance that he can play this weekend. Nick Bosa in concussion protocol. He was kept out of that game against the Dallas Cowboys after he suffered a concussion in the second quarter, but he has a chance to play. The 49ers are saying that he has a chance to play. Now, this is what Kyle Shanahan always says. He always says these words. He always says, hopeful to play. That's why I'm not really holding out hope for Fred Warner or Nick Bosa, because he says hopeful to play. He said that about Elijah Mitchell all year long. He said that about George Kittle all year long. Like, there's been so many players that he said, yeah, we're hopeful that he's going to play. He likes to keep everything under low key, kind of like Bill Belichick. He's a little bit more responsive than Bill Belichick interviews, but yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. But then Jimmy Garoppolo, this more than likely he's going to continue to play. He sprained his shoulder in the second quarter against the Dallas Cowboys, but he should still be able to play. You won't be seeing Trey Lance coming into this game. Jimmy G, by the way, very underrated, has been doing very, very good as of late. I mean, his passing numbers, if you look at the yardage, it's like 270 yards, 290 yards, 300 yards. Stone Cold Steve Austin, 316 yards. Like, he's doing really well for the San Francisco 49ers, and he's winning games. He's winning games. So props to Jimmy Garoppolo. But that's your NFL news and notes for today. Now we've got power rankings that we want to update you guys on. Now, we usually do this on Wednesday, but because of the playoffs, it's kind of shifting days around a little bit. So we just want to go ahead and update you guys and let you guys know who our top teams in the NFL are. Now, 17 through 32, that's already locked in place. We mentioned this last week. That's not going to change. 17 through 24 or 32 is locked in place, but we're going to go 8 at a time and just catch you guys up to date with 25 through 32, 17 through 24. So first, let's talk about 25 through 32. Let's just name them off. 25 Bears, 26 Broncos, 27 Panthers, 28 Lions, 29 Jets, 30 Texans, 31 Jaguars, and 32 the Giants, as you can see on the side with the dashes that no team has moved up. There's no reason for any team to move up unless actually, no. I mean, there's no reason. None of them are playing. The New York Giants are the worst team in the NFL from this season. 17 through 24, again, no major changes. No changes actually at all. 17 Dolphins, 18 Ravens, 19 Saints, 20 Browns, 21 Vikings, 22 Washington, 23 Seahawks, and 24 the Atlanta Falcons. All of them locked in place for the season. Now, this is where it gets interesting. 9 through 16 and the Elite 8, 1 through 8. Let's first start off with 9 through 16, and let's talk about it for a bit. At number 9, you have the Cincinnati Bengals, 10 Dallas Cowboys, 11 Patriots, 12 Raiders, 13 Chargers, 14 Colts, 15 Steelers, and 16 Eagles. Okay, so I was debating between whether to flip the Eagles and the Steelers, but I think they're pretty much neck and neck. Like, you could have the Eagles at 15, Steelers at 16. It's not that big of a debate. The Colts and the Chargers, I know that they didn't make the playoffs, but I still have them ranked ahead of the Steelers and the Eagles because I feel like the Chargers, if they faced the Chiefs, they would have put up a better game against the Steelers. I mean, I don't know if there's anyone that would deny that, to be honest with you. Especially with, and even with the Colts, even though they lost and they kind of blew it against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 18, I still feel like that they're better than the Steelers and the Eagles. So that's the story on that. But moving on up, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals moving on up some spots. The Raiders and the Chargers keep on dropping, and then the Cowboys. They move outside of the Elite 8, but they still finish as a top 10 team. So that's kind of locked in place. Numbers 1 through 9, really, with the Bengals being at number 9, they're still in playoff contention, and they can move on up. They can move on up, and it could change. Now, you could say, oh, well, there's 8 teams left in the postseason. Why are you saying that numbers 1 through 9 can still be affected? Are you saying that one team that isn't still in the playoffs is still in the top 8? That's exactly what I'm saying. So let me go ahead and read this off, and then let me go ahead and explain that. So 1 through 8. 1, the Green Bay Packers. 2, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 3, Tennessee Titans. 4, LA Rams. 5, Kansas City Chiefs. 6, Buffalo Bills. 7, Arizona Cardinals. And 8, the San Francisco 49ers. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's locked in place. That's not moving. Packers, Titans, they had a bye week. The Buccaneers, they won in great fashion. They stay at number 2. All right, so now the Rams, the Chiefs, and the Bills, they move on up 1 spot each because the Arizona Cardinals, who were the previous number 4 team, they drop down to number 7. Drop down 3 spots. Why is that? Why didn't they just fall outside of the top 8? Because they're outside of the top 8 teams. Well, it's because the Arizona Cardinals are still a very talented team. They still finished the season at 11-6. You could say, okay, the 49ers could move up over them. The Bengals could move up over them. And yeah, they could. But given all season, given how they performed, given how the Bengals have performed, given how the 49ers have performed, I got to keep the Arizona Cardinals at number 7. And now, as I'm talking about this right now, I'll be honest with you, I'm thinking to myself like, maybe the Arizona Cardinals should actually drop outside of the top 8. I wouldn't be surprised with that. I would be okay with that. But that's just my opinion on it. That's just my opinion, and it might change. Hey, tomorrow I'm going to post my power rankings on social media, and I might put the Cardinals outside of the top 8. But as of right now, I got them at number 7. But if you have any sort of opinion, convince me otherwise, should they be outside of the top 8? Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your opinions. But that's our power rankings going into the divisional round of the playoffs following Wild Card Weekend. All right, guys. The live chat. What are you guys saying here? What are you guys saying in the live chat? Does anybody want to bet Cincinnati upsets the Bills when they play, if they play? Ooh. So I'm guessing you got the Bengals beating the Titans and you got the Bills beating the Chiefs. And then it's going to be the Bills and the Bengals. I haven't come out with my weekly picks yet. I haven't taken a poll on social media of what you, the viewers, think. But the Titans and Bengals, here we go again. I mentioned last week with the Bengals and the Raiders, these are two teams that I want to see continue to move forward in the playoffs. I hate that they're facing each other. I would love for them to both continue to win and move forward. Especially now with the Titans and the Bengals, these are two teams that I really like. I really would love to see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals make a deep postseason run. I would really love to see the Tennessee Titans do the same as well. But you got to pick one. I haven't come out with my weekly picks yet, but I'm leaning towards the Tennessee Titans. That might change. But, yeah, you got the Bengals winning and the Bills winning. So, we'll see. Combat Sports Talk talking about not like the Cards had a chance. No D-Hop from Jordanian Poppy. Yeah. No DeAndre Hopkins. Hey, the rumors of him returning for the NFC Championship game, gone. Not going to happen. The Cardinals are not making the NFC title game, and they're going to be sitting on the couch watching the playoffs from home. What happened to Arizona is Hopkins got injured. AJ Green was playing like a mummy. Nobody really knew who the starting running back was, and Kyler Murray got uncomfortable. What's crazy is the Arizona Cardinals were 8-2 when DeAndre Hopkins plays. And then if they didn't play, I think the Arizona Cardinals, with that loss against the LA Rams, would be 5, if I can do math, 3-5 without DeAndre Hopkins. So 8-2 with DeAndre Hopkins, 3-5 without him. Makes a big difference. And then if you have James Conner and Chase Edmonds healthy, both of them, this is what I noted on yesterday's show, that made a huge difference because the Arizona Cardinals, they started 7-0 with both of them healthy. And then they lost 5 of their last 6 games eventually. And it was a bummer for the Arizona Cardinals. And that collapse, someone on Twitter pointed it out that the Arizona Cardinals are the equivalent of the Pittsburgh Steelers from last year. Starting 11-0, finishing 12-4, and getting booted out in the wild card round against the Cleveland Browns. Same exact thing. Started hot, started undefeated. Didn't work out. The New York Giants in 2008 won a Super Bowl in 2007. Eli Manning was playing hot. I think they started I don't know if they started undefeated 10-0 or 10-1 or something. It was a ridiculous record. And then they finished 12-4 and eventually lost. They got the first round bye, but they lost their first game in the playoffs against the Philadelphia Eagles, I think it was. So I don't know what it is about these teams starting off hot, starting great, and ranking up really high, and then falling and then just ruining everything. But, I mean, the Arizona Cardinals, they blew it. They really blew it, to say the least. You do look like the guy from Blue's Clues. We just got a letter. LOL. Aftershock Value saying that. Yeah. What was the video? Was it a viral video that came out and he was saying oh, hi guys. 20 years later, I'm older, you're older, and look at you guys. Look at you guys and how much you've grown. Yeah, and then the women that are the little girls that watch Blue Clues now have grown up and they're doing like OnlyFans and stuff. Like, really? Me? I've grown? Yeah. You're proud of me? Yeah. If you don't know that Blues Clues viral video that came out, this came out like, oh gosh, like 3, 4, 5 months ago. Watch it. Watch it. Yeah. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. You've grown so much. Look at you. Gosh. I never watched Blue Clues growing up. Jordanian Poppy. Yeah, he got posted by Westbrook last night for that incident. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the Lakers were actually doing something. Last I heard that they were very, very, very average, and they weren't really putting in effort because a lot of them are like 32 years old and older, which like your life isn't over at 32. Like you can still be very athletic, but you don't have the same amount of stamina as someone that's like 24. So I don't know. That's the last I heard about the LA Lakers. Good morning. Can I get a hooday? How about my boy Joe Burrow and the Bengals on to Tennessee? Should be a great matchup this weekend. Sean Landry, yeah. So Sean is tuning in as an LSU fan. So he is a big Joe Burrow believer. I think a lot of us are big believers in Joe Shiesty, whatever the term is going around right now, coined famous by Trap House Sports on TikTok. Joe Burr as well, ice cold. Yeah, Joe Burrow and the Bengals are really looking hot. Dude, man, I want both teams to. Oh gosh, I wish both teams could advance. I really do, because I like the Bengals and I like the Titans a lot too. The Bills Chiefs is going to be a very good game as well. Cards are the same the past 2-3 seasons. They start off hot and a contender, fall off the last back half of the season. This is what Rob Dale from Hawaii is saying. So, yeah, Rob, let me ask you this, though. Is it because of Kyler Murray? Is Kyler Murray the reason why the Arizona Cardinals are not that good? I mean, he's the reason why they're good, but is he the reason why they're collapsing? Like, is he like putting them inside of games? Is he getting it done with his legs? Is he putting up a lot of great numbers, touchdowns, whatever? But when it comes down to him trying to come back, our defense is able to expose them. Our defense is catching up on Kyler Murray's game, and does he need to adapt? I don't know what's going on with the Arizona Cardinals. I really don't know, except that they just can't finish games. I mean, there's like little things here and there, like, oh, the defense, like it has some holes you need to fix. But it comes down to the same thing with the Minnesota Vikings, like a very talented roster. They just can't win games. And that's what cost the Minnesota Vikings their playoff spot. And with the Arizona Cardinals, same thing, man. Could be the same exact thing. Just not really working out. The Bengals representing the AFC and the Super Bowl. Hashtag Who Days. So Sean believes that the AFC is going to be represented by the Cincinnati Bengals. I came out with a video yesterday talking about how the Buffalo Bills were the most impressive team this past wildcard weekend. Good luck, man. Good luck beating the Bills because, oh my gosh, man. Against the defense of the New England Patriots, putting up 47 points, 5 touchdowns from Josh Allen, 66 rushing yards from Josh Allen. Oh my gosh, man. Josh Allen is a beast to be reckoned with. And I think on tomorrow's show, the segment that I have planned is we're going to simulate the games. Like if the favorites were to win each game, like what would happen in the conference title games, like who would advance. But I think another segment that we're going to be coming out with is who has the easiest path to the playoffs, given the talent that they have and given like who would they face if they were to win. We'll let you guys know about that segment on tomorrow's show coming up on Wednesday. Murray can't play quarterback. The NFL has caught up with him. Raiders fan since 1967. Listen, hey, I actually heard that you were you commented on one of my videos, and you were saying like, yeah, I'm very excited. You were very pumped that they beat the Chargers in that game. Fortunately, it didn't work out. I know that Raiders fans are probably upset. I know that Charles Woodson actually, as a matter of fact, said, hey, the NFL should demand a rematch between the Bengals and the Raiders. Logistically, that would never happen. Like, it's not going to happen. But I know he's a guy that is very upset, and I know that a lot of Raiders fans are kind of upset about the officiating, which, I mean, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Like, Raiders fans have more to complain about than Cowboys fans do. Like, Cowboys, It sucks. Like, the referee shouldn't have run into the lineman, but you knew that the clock wasn't going to stop. You knew that it was going to be running. You knew that the referee had to down the ball. Yeah. So, Whistlegate. We're calling it Whistlegate. Yeah. Tough, man. That's tough for the Raiders. Tough for the Raiders. Yeah, let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and sign off here real quick, unless you guys have something else you want to comment real quick. By the way, I've been interacting on Twitter with you guys on both my personal account, which you can follow me at It's Hassan Khan, or at Time2Football is our Time2Football account. Either one, we tweet from both of them. But as I think I got a notification from the NFL, actually. Let me go ahead and read these news. Oh, Browns defensive tackle Malik Mcdowell was arrested on Monday and charged with public exposure. Well, this is fitting with what I was going to talk about. Resisting arrest and battery of a police officer. Here's the arrest report. Let me go ahead and read this. Sheriff's deputies reported that they got a call of a naked man walking near a school. You kidding? Assistant State Attorney Eric I almost said Lindor, like Francisco Lindor of the New York Mets. Linder told Judge Phoebe Francois that McDowell was actually near a learning center, not a school. Okay, maybe it makes a difference. For children, and it was in session. Oh, well, okay, yeah, that's not good. Linder said police said there's surveillance video that shows McDowell went onto the learning center property while naked. Dude, what the freaking heck? What's going on? When McDowell was charged, the deputy reported he wasn't able to avoid the confrontation, use his weapon, or de-escalation tactics. It was a violent attack that left the police dazed, according to an arrest report. He attacked the police? The deputy said McDowell charged at me at full speed with closed fist, leaving the deputy injured. The report said amid the attack, the deputy fought back, but McDowell fled. The report said the deputy used a taser to place McDowell in handcuffs. What just happened? What just happened? Hey, I don't make this show about, hey, I think First Take is actually on right now if you want to go ahead and tune in with the drama. And what was it? Who's the guy in, gosh, Shannon Sharp. Why did I not remember that? Skip. Can you believe what Malik McDowell did at a learning center for kids? Kids. Skip. 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 It was not a school. It was a learning center. It's my turn. My turn. My turn. The Cowboys blew it. My turn. Yeah, so if you guys want to keep up with the drama of the NFL, then go ahead and turn on Undisputed or First Take. But, I just got this report right now, so I'm just reading this. Which, by the way, Pro Football Chase on Instagram. Let me go ahead and, like a basic YouTube girl. Can we focus in on this? Can we focus on this? Okay, is it focusing? Okay, Pro Football Chase. This is where I get caught up on all the fancy updates. Like, this guy's faster than Adam Schefter. I turn on notifications for every single post on Instagram. Every time he posts, I get it. And I'm like, oh, shoot. Deshaun Watson is traded. Let me go ahead and pick him up in fantasy football right away before anyone else notices. This guy's helped me out a lot. So Pro Football Chase. Check him out. Yeah, Malik McDowell. Dude. What the heck? I don't want to get way too into it and talk about his personal life or anything like that. But as it pertains to football, whatever's going on with him resisting arrest and public exposure and whatever, hopefully his mind is in the right place. As it pertains to football, he's not going to be playing this weekend. We can go ahead and tell you that. For the Cleveland Browns. Wow. On that note, that Max Kellerman impression was on point. Sharp, not really. Well, the fact that I was trying to imitate Skip Bayless, so the fact you said Max Kellerman tells me that I need work on a lot of things. Max Kellerman is more like, can you believe what we just saw? The fact that Tom Brady is falling off a cliff and still able to win in the playoffs. I mean, oh my goodness. That's probably sucks. Sharp was great, man. Scoop. What was I going to talk about anyways before I talked about Malik Mcdowell? Oh, yeah, Twitter. Okay. Kind of fits in, I guess, in the realm of male organs. Yesterday, I was making fun of bowl games about how, like, they're pointless on college football. Unless it's, like, the championship or the playoffs or anything like that. It's pointless. It's pointless. What's the point? What's the point? If I'm playing for the NFL, why would I want to risk an injury? What's the point? I mean, it's fun. Sure. And for the players, like, you get to play one last game. Sure. But, like, what's the point? Who cares if you win? Who cares? Does the school get money? Anyways, I was talking about that, and I was making fun of the sponsors, and then yesterday I said, I just realized my hot brunette wife's 14-year-old cousin listens to this show and watches it. But anyways, yesterday I said, I was making fun of the sponsors, and I was like, what are they going to have next? A Fleshlight Bowl? And I've been getting some amazing remarks on Twitter because of that. People are loving it. People are loving it. So, gosh, freaking hilarious. Anyways, random show where we just talked about football, talked about the playoffs, talked about a man being exposed to the public naked, talked about Skip Bayless, talked about the Broad. Stephen A. Smith is the greatest heel in sportscasting history. The way that he talks about Cowboys fans and he laughs in their face whenever they lose. Ooh, like he knows how to rally up a crowd. He knows how to get inside of the emotions. Like, such a good heel. Such a good freaking bad guy. I love it. He's so good at his job. Yeah, in a random show where we talked about Rudy Gobert. But, yeah, with all that said, appreciate you guys tuning in for this episode of Time2Football. We had fun with it, and we encourage you guys to go ahead and subscribe so you can stay up to date when we come out with more shows. Monday through Friday, every single morning, coming out with these live shows. Getting you guys caught up on all the NFL playoff news. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Time2Football. And remember, COVID.